And this is our education for today. So the idea here is to go after a hot sector with credit spreads. Okay, so in sectorspiders.com, that's the website I'm in now. If you go to tools, sector charting, this is the process that is going to lead us to what I think is a really good trade. All right, I'm going to look at a 1 month view, and I want to look at all of the sectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all of the 11 sectors. And if I scroll down, you know, one of them is actually obviously the most bullish sector, and it's this yellow one, which is up 10% over the last month, where the S&P 500, look right here. Oops, I can't move my cursor into the box. But right next to my cursor there, you can see that the S&P 500 is down 0.92%. Would it be fair to say that the XLE, which is up 10.37%, is immune to the market correction? Not even immune, but it's moving solidly in the other direction. So as I said before, this is evidence to support that if the markets do roll over, which they've been doing already, that the XLE is immune to it, and it's rising. So that's the place I want to play. And we're going to just do a simple process. And so when you go to the sector spiders, if you want to get the component stocks, and I've changed the website. I'm trying to, you can just go through, here's one way to do it. Just go through the sectors until you find the one you want. I'm trying to get to the holdings. Here we go. Here's how you do it. You go to the, you go up here, because I just figured it out. They've changed the website again, twice in about a month. Go to XLE. And then if you scroll down a bit, you can see holdings. All right, here they are. And there's I think there's about 20 of them. And if you want to get the list of stocks, you can go just click this XLS file here, and that will download them. So the idea here is that I'm going to pull up the Excel spreadsheet. The idea here is I want to copy all of the component stocks that comprise the XLE ETF MOUSE. So the ETF, the exchange traded fund, has a component of stocks. And what's happening here? Try that again. My Excel's not working. I've had a crash, obviously. All right, now. So I'm going to have to restart Excel, but basically what you do is you get the XLS file, you highlight all of the stocks in that file, and then you go to website, lists, edit list. And then from there, you're going to have, I've got all my lists built, but you select a list in a folder. It's going to be list 1 through list 20. You select the list you want, and then you rename it to XLE stocks. All of you know this. And then you paste those stock symbols in this list. And then what I also do is add the actual ETF itself. So all of you here have seen that. This is meant to give those that haven't seen this before access to it. And so I've just gone through the steps briefly there. And then all we got to do now is search your single strategy, put credit. And then I select XLE. Those are all the stocks I want to look at. And then go after short term. I want a short-term credit spread on the most bullish sector going over the last month. By far, hit search.
Mike, you don't have to comma delimit, do you?
What's that, sorry?
You don't need to comma delimit?
No. No, in fact, in this tool, you can post a dialogue that has symbols in it. It strips out all of it in the list tool. Okay, these are the ones that came back on for Friday's data. And these are going to be pretty close to the heat. Here's the first one on MPC. I mean, my God, that's a beautiful bullish stock. Let's look at it today, MPC. There's a lot of good ones in here. It's down a bit today, and that's fine. It's hit 150. It's at resistance. It was at resistance at 140 and 145 and 135 as well. So the game here is, how close do you want to get? Now, you can make a case for getting aggressive here, going to 145. So that would be selling the 145 put, or even 140. I wouldn't get to 145 necessarily. I think 140 is the closest I'd get. 135 is the safest. I'm looking at support. Why is 135 the safest place to sell a credit spread in this stock? Well, because it's resistance over here. All right, so 135 resistance, 135 resistance. 135 was resistance there, it was breached. So that's as close as I would get on this one for probability's sake. And then we have Marathon. Now this one I kind of like more. Why would I say that? It's not rising as much as the MPC is. Well, the reason I like it is because we have a 200-day average here, and I could sell underneath it. The drawback to this one is that this one is not as bullish as the rest of the sector, but it has, at least on Friday, breached 2650, resistance, 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 and it broke above it on Friday. Well, what's it doing today? Let's take a look. MRO. No, it's hanging in there. So the question becomes, well, I want to sell with as many layers of protection as possible. So if I sold at 25, I'd have 26. Let's zoom in a little bit here. I'd have 26 as support. I'd have 2550 as support. 25 itself is support. So I like the 200 as protection. What I don't like about this stock is that it's not as bullish as the rest. So if there's a retracement in the oil sector, if it cools off for a bit, Marathon could drop. I just don't, it's not as bullish. It's not as bullish as the other stocks in the sector. So this is the process that I go through. Schlumberger. Similar to the MRO chart, Marathon chart. Here, I like it at 56. Support, it's a little close, maybe down to 55. So that one's not bad. What else here? We got MPC, Halliburton. We have a trade on Halliburton in our hedge fund group, which is doing really well. But this one's not bad either, in that we could sell maybe here at 38. That's a little close. We also have a bullish 50, 200-day golden cross happening. Let's see what the stock's doing today. Yeah, it's happened. So the 50 just crossed over the 200 today on this one, maybe down at 36. So there's a lot of choices here for us to choose from. The question becomes, which one do I do? Let's look at COP quickly here. Pretty good as well. All right, so there's a lot of good ones here. Let's check out Marathon one more time here. Marathon Petroleum. So I'm going to check the news on this thing, see what's going on. MPC. Marathon Petroleum, unusual options activity. Let's see what that is. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So unusual options activity is generally big volume. And oftentimes that's an indication that some big money has a very strong opinion about the stock. And that can be used to derive a prognosis. And so just looking through here, you can just go right down the sentiment here. There's a bullish, well, there's a neutral sentiment of 1.7 million, $989,000 bullish, 540. So it's mixed, right? It's mixed. So the big money is conflicted. If I saw bullish, 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 and maybe one bearish, then I could use that as a confirming indicator. Don't really see it. All right, where do we want to sell? Well,